Hi, good morning. Happy to have you here today with us live on our stream talking about our cohort's graduation day. Before we do all of that, a personal note from me and the Venture Lab, we hope that you are safe and healthy and that I hope that we all wind up on the better side of this here very soon. This is probably not your first stream. This is not my first stream of having to do things like this. And I can tell you that the weirdness just kind of goes away and we've just assumed a level of it while we're here in these videos. You can't see this, but what's going on underneath this video screen right now is this iPad is sitting on a toaster, which is sitting on a chair, which is sitting on a table in my dining room, right? Because that's what we do today to try and make sure that we're getting the right video image, to try to make sure that we're presenting ourselves in a way that is best received by the audience. And I think if you ask my parents back when I got sent to engineering school 20 years ago, if this was how I was going to use my engineering skill set today, they probably never would have guessed that. But I can tell you one thing, the knowledge stuck with me from college. This setup is overbuilt and very robust. All right? So, shaking out the weirdness, we're going to move on. Let's talk Cohort 11. Cohort 11 is very important to the Venture Lab for a couple of reasons, but predominantly it is focused around scale. This is the first time that we have brought more than 10 teams into a program and tried to see what would happen. What are we going to break, right? Where do we have things that we need to beef up? What are our challenges, etc.? And so this is the first cohort of 20 teams that came through the program. So size is important in this case because it is about doubling the program to increase access to people, right? And one of the ways that we're increasing access is we're opening up this pre-accelerator as we have in the past, and you've seen a Xavier team come through in the past. We now have 2 University of Dayton and 1 Wright State team in this program. So because of the way we operate today with this virtual environment, we were able to extend into the Dayton metro area through those 2 universities in a way that may have been challenging in the past. So I'm excited that those 3 teams are going to talk to you today about what they've learned. And I'm proud that we've been able to, as an office and as a team of EIRs and facilitators, been able to make an impact in an area that we hadn't otherwise been able to make an impact yet. So that's highly positive. To interact, if you haven't been on a stream with us before, just so you know, there will be a comment section. You are welcome to chat with the teams throughout their presentations. All of their videos are pre-recorded, so they will be available in the chat window to discuss anything you might have throughout their presentation. And then additionally, their contact info will be available to you so that you can follow up offline if you need to. All right? And without any more from me, just one more time, I'm thankful that you're here today. I'm happy to have you, and I'm happy to be talking to you about the teams that we have to show you today. So without any further ado, please, let's start Cohort 11. It's graduation day.
Greetings. I'm Dr. Luis Estevez, scientist and founder of Advanced and Innovative Multifunctional Materials, or AIM. And no, this isn't my lunch I'm holding in my hands. What this is actually part of the PPE protocol for hospitals during the peak of the coronavirus pandemic. By now, everyone on the entire planet knows this image as the coronavirus. Everyone also now knows what an N95 respirator mask is and how effective it is at protecting us from this virus. The director of the CDC recently has said that it may be the most important weapon we have in protecting us from COVID. We've had mask shortages early in the pandemic, and we are still way behind in our supplies of these masks. Thus, healthcare workers have dealt with and are still dealing with this unsafe situation. During customer discovery, we were shocked to learn the standard protocol to deal with the shortages of these disposable masks was to store them in a brown paper bag with your name on it, and then reuse it the next time you worked at the hospital, relying on, quote, hope that whatever landed on it is dead, unquote, and a bunch of Purell to not contaminate yourself. Hospital administrators have no choice but to use these disposable N95 masks within their hospital systems to ensure the safety of both patients and staff, while trying to keep costs down and also maintaining a reserve stockpile for emergencies. COVID has pushed these issues with disposable masks to the surface. For one, throwing away the mask after leaving the patient's room is the only way to ensure everyone's safety. This is not only wasteful, but during a large crisis, it will and has led to dire shortages. These shortages have revealed the financial unsustainability of the system, with mask prices spiking over 1,000% and attempts to clean and reuse these masks potentially adding to the cost. Finally, and most importantly, it's just not safe. Walking around with the same mask increases the chances for cross-contamination and danger for everyone. At AIM, we are developing a self-disinfecting N95 mask that will be truly reusable. What we are doing is taking the plastic cloth that makes up the outside of the mask and adding silver nanoparticles that have been shown to effectively kill viruses and bacteria. This is not a trivial task, but it's this process that's AIM's secret sauce. We estimate an additional $2 to $4 cost for each $1 mask to obtain a $20 value proposition, which we verified as a reasonable price point through customer discovery of a hospital COO. Also, this process can be used on other materials and applications as well, so we are solidifying the IP. We have proven aspects of the process on the laboratory scale, and we are planning to use an invited SBIR proposal to the NSF to get a prototype. Looking at the giant $1 trillion plus U.S. hospital market, we are not looking to replace all N95 masks, but see the completely depleted emergency supply market as our initial thrust. Customer discovery with the same COO has revealed that even pre-COVID, their 3 hospitals would have to keep a 14-day supply of 67,000 masks on hand for emergencies. The COVID pandemic is actually growing this market for the future. To avoid another PPE disaster, California just passed a bill requiring a 3-month supply of PPE for their 344 hospitals, and it would not be surprising to see all 6,100 U.S. hospitals follow suit. The current state of the art for any kind of reusable N95 mask involves cleaning the masks after they've been used. There's many options, but vaporized hydrogen peroxide is seen by most as the best method. Since masks are limited, this means we're brown bagging our N95 masks for up to 30 days until they're sent out to be cleaned. That's if they're able to be cleaned, as up to 40% cannot be cleaned and get thrown out. If they can be cleaned, there's a limited number of uses until they are not functional, and at roughly $5 per cleaning, the cost can add up. The AIM self-disinfecting mask can be safely reused due to the outer portion killing the coronavirus. Of course, this makes them environmentally sustainable, but compared to cleaning it, it is even financially sustainable as well. We also believe that there's opportunities outside these 3 major aspects, such as better PR for the hospitals and giving them an edge in recruiting and keeping environmentally aware staff. To accomplish all this, we at AIM are currently working with the University of Dayton's Propel Tech Transfer Program to solidify the patent, while at the same time acquiring non-dilutive capital to bring the technology to a prototype. Part of Phase 1 funding for the SBIR will be to hire a business student as an intern that can grow with our company. Afterwards, we plan to raise dilutive capital off of Phase 1 wins to optimize and scale up the product, or work with established players for sub-licensing the technology. Afterwards, we plan to use the same patented process to explore other applications, such as antimicrobial microfiber cloths, biocidal plastics, and especially water purification, opening up new opportunities. At AIM, we have the team to make this happen. I have over 10 years of material science expertise using similar processes back from my PhD days at Cornell University. Additionally, AIM has secured an advisory board with complementary skill sets from our EIR at Dayton Tech, Katie Hill, to Eric Wagner of Converge Technologies, both who come from business-oriented backgrounds and have grown many successful startups. The University of Dayton's Professor Crossan brings her expertise with harmful microorganisms and her well-equipped lab to AIM. In short, AIM has built up a network of various partners and collaborators that will allow us to hit the ground running once we get SBIR funding. So right now at AIM, we are looking for connections to government SBIR program managers or nonprofits to get to a prototype stage. We are also looking for a business-based intern student that is hungry and can grow with AIM. And finally, we would like to obtain connections to experts or programs that can help with prototyping and scale up of our technology, as well as other companies that we can eventually sub-license this technology to. With that, I thank you for your time and invite any questions you may have.
Hi everybody. My name is David Johnson, and I am the founder of Allmed Payments, a Mint.com-like platform for your medical bills. This is me last year, trying to put on a happy face with my jaundiced raccoon eyes to reassure my family after a surprise health issue. It was the first time ever being really sick, and I'm happy to be recovered. While managing my health, the bills started rolling in, bringing on stress and prolonging my recovery. I had 12 bills that required I create logins to 8 different portals. I had to create an Excel file just to track all my payments, and I'm sure many of you can relate, either for yourself personally or for your family. I've since learned that I'm not the only one. Roughly 75% of people are confused with their medical bills. That means most of you on this call have experienced this confusion and frustration. High deductible insurance plans are more common, and patients' costs have increased up to 88% since 2012. Between the increased costs, confusion, and surprise bills, almost 70% of patients are not paying their bills in full, and these numbers are climbing. With increasing patient financial responsibility, providers are feeling a larger impact to their revenue. 30% of administrative costs are attributed to the patient billing and collections process, totaling nearly $149 billion a year. Like millions of people, when I was sick, I repeatedly had to call my provider's office to set up payment plans and to understand my bills and sometimes make payments. This contributes to why it's 4 times more costly to collect from the patient than from insurance. I wish there was a payment option that was simple and effortless when I was sick, and I'm sure those of you that have experienced similar to me wish for the same. Through Allmed Payments, we're building that solution. Allmed Payments will be the Mint.com of medical bill payments. With one login, you'll be able to see each bill, manage your payment options, finance when needed, and track your family spend for current and previous years. Simple and effortless. The out-of-pocket spend by patients is $365 billion annually as of 2017, with an annual growth rate of 5% through 2027. By processing bills through the Allmed Payments platform for a conservative fee of 3%, we're in an $11 billion market capable of growing to $18 billion. The financial responsibility to the patient is forecasted to continue growing, making the need for Allmed Payments platform more necessary and valuable over time. Allmed Payments is focused on delivering the optimal patient experience. Through this experience, we drive value to our customer, the provider, by empowering the patient through our user-friendly portal, which helps the provider receive payments on time and in full. We'll automate the provider's billing to the patient and reduce manual payment touchpoints. Through automation, administrative resources can be refocused to support the doctor and patients. And the provider will be able to more accurately forecast revenues and reduce costs. There are many competitors, both large and small, in this market, and we have barriers to overcome in building market share. However, the current sandbox is filled with antiquated systems that do not deliver the experience expected by patients and needed by providers. Although there are new competitors with unique solutions, the patient's bill-pay market is ready for an approach focused on the patient as a consumer. Allmed Payments will be that solution, treating the patient as a consumer and putting us at the right place at the right time as the market evolves. Currently, we've been performing market research with providers to understand their processes, systems, and complications with patient payments. We performed an initial competitor analysis, and our backend developer is working on API connections for our MVP. For next steps, we'll continue our market research with providers' networks. With this data, we'll create and implement a strategic plan focused on systems integration and key customer needs to launch a provider-facing MVP. The Allmed Payments team consists of Tyler Ewing, our backend developer with 8 years experience as a software engineer, experienced in APIs. I'm David Johnson, the founder. I'm an engineer and have spent my career in process improvement. Our advisors are Fred Hilkowitz, who was the director at Quest Diagnostics and MedPlus, and an entrepreneur himself, who specializes in software development and software architecture. Francine Johnson is the Vice President of Workers' Compensation and Bill Review with expertise in government regulations. We're fortunate to have advisors that bring enormous value to our company. We know we can't do this alone and need more help. We're looking for EIRs that can connect us to key individuals within provider networks to further our market research and build relationships. Additionally, we're looking for guidance and expertise in payment transactions and medical financing. And finally, we need top talent to help us grow, both developers with experience in medical APIs and those highly skilled in UI/UX development. Thank you for your interest. We are Allmed Payments, medical bills made simple.
Hello, my name is Shaban Abdallah. I'm professor of aerospace engineering at the University of Cincinnati. My research interest is in the area of medical devices and fluid mechanics.
Hi, my name is Miriam Awatari. I am a third-year biomedical engineering student at the University of Cincinnati, and I am collaborating with Dr. Abdullah to learn more about the medical device industry.
Our invention is a non-invasive incontinence device, NID. It measures the volume of urine leakage caused by several diseases. Urine leakage is a problem for elderly people and for young women after giving birth. Leaks can be embarrassing. What is worse is a lengthy process to a solution. Small leaks, big problem. For patients, uncomfortable, inconvenient, and wet feeling of adult diapers. For urologists, the ICS bad test is for 1 hour. It does not give enough data. That also has time constraint that leads to less patients can be served. Our device is comfortable, accurate solution for patients, comfortable and convenient because it puts more control for the patients on choosing their testing time based on their availability. That leads to faster treatment. For urologists, it delivers more accurate readings over extended periods of time that is not currently available. It also more time to serve more patients. What is it? It's a short style, consists of a tube wrapped around the legs of a short. The tube is marked, scaled for easy measurement of the urine volume. The tube also has an outlet valve, hygienic, and it also can hold a full void of the bladder. The device is easy to use and comfortable and convenient. This could be a patient wearing our device doing what they love best.
So the prevalence of incontinence is very high, especially in women. So 5% of young women can experience it, especially due to childbirth. 44% to 57% of middle-aged and postmenopausal women can experience it, and a whopping 75% of older women can experience incontinence. And this problem does not look like it is going to go away anytime soon, as the US population is expected to increase in age demographically. To this point, our product will also be of value, considering that the global nephrology and urology devices market is growing. So some existing products that we're looking at for competition, we have invasive products such as the two seen on the left, which involve catheters. We have adult diapers, which can be a waste of resources as they have to be changed frequently, as well as they cannot hold a full bladder void. We also have other non-invasive devices that are out there, like the one seen on the right, but is not very discreet. So the current ICS, or International Continence Society, certified procedure, as mentioned earlier, is a 1-hour test in the clinic. It can be uncomfortable and inaccurate and lead to incomplete set of data for the urologist. So NID urodynamics is going to fill the gaps in this information. So in our timeline, we are currently at the prototyping stage. We're building a team of experts and finalizing our prototype with this, and then we'll move on to the testing stage, in which we will work out details for manufacturing, get measurements for quality, and go through the ICS and FDA approval processes. Next, we will move on to marketing, in which we will need investors, and of course we'll launch our product and promote it. Some key takeaways from the Venture Lab program: we were able to better discover our customer. We are able to understand the process of entering the commercial versus the medical market, and EIRs also gave us more insight to help us specify our prototype design and move forward in our process. So here's our team. We are looking for manufacturers. We're especially looking for experienced business managers who can help us with competitive analysis and working through getting approval and certification. And finally, we will need marketers. So the problem: gaps in incontinence diagnostics, inaccurate measurements, and a slow treatment process. The solution? We have the missing piece. Our opportunity is an accurate, hygienic, discreet, and cost-effective method for improving urinary incontinence diagnostics. Please feel free to contact our team and ask any questions. Thank you so much for your time.
Hi, my name is Atit Pathak and I'm a third-year student at UC. Today, I'll tell you about my idea for a low-cost flood and landslide warning system for developing countries. This past year alone, flooding has affected millions of people worldwide. Unfortunately, these disasters occur on a regular basis and they lead to the loss of thousands of lives. I would like you to meet Mohammed. During a tragic landslide that occurred in Sierra Leone in 2017, Mohammed lost his entire family along with hundreds in his community. Mohammed was outside of his house while the rest of his family was inside. In a short amount of time that it took for the disaster to reach his home, his family had no way to know or escape. Unfortunately, stories like Mohammed's are much too common throughout the developing world, and 2 billion people are affected by floods and landslides. As a result, thousands of children, parents, grandparents, friends, and family members perish due to these disasters each year. Many times, deaths occur simply due to unawareness, especially during the night when people are asleep. So the importance of developing an affordable warning system that can quickly alert these developing communities is clear. To help solve this problem, a low-cost two-part system was developed, a sensor and a receiver. The sensor units can detect conditions that indicate a possibility of flooding or landslides, such as by measuring the water level or soil moisture, and they can be distributed along riversides or in hill areas. When risky conditions are detected, it sends an alert to the receivers. The receivers are essentially small radios that can remain tuned to the sensor, and they can be kept in every home. When the sensor transmits the warning, the receivers play an audible warning tone to alert the people or perhaps wake them up. Using these devices, it's possible to implement an affordable, easy to maintain, and simple to use solution that can be used to help alert the citizens of possible disasters before they reach their homes. In doing this, the devices have the potential to help prevent many needless deaths. Over the past few months, I've been working to develop and test the devices to determine the sensor designs that work best. Once the designs are decided and the prototypes are finalized, the next step is to begin testing them in a controlled field setting. Overall, the goal for the devices is to alert people before or when the disasters occur, making them aware and thus helping prevent unnecessary deaths. While this is a big issue in many places, underdeveloped countries often don't have the resources to solve the problem on their own. So to create an effective solution, both these communities and I need the support and connections of nonprofit organizations and international development firms to help with the continued testing and development and to ultimately distribute the solution in those communities. If you'd like to learn more or get in touch, please feel free to reach me at this email. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sherelle D. Luckett. I'm a professor of English and Drama at the University of Cincinnati. I'm also the director of the Helen Weinberger Center for Drama and Playwriting, and I'm the owner and CEO of a celebrated acting studio called the Black Acting Method Studio. I've been training actors and artists for over 17 years now, and I've also been training educators for many years as well. I'm the author of 5 books, one of which was the #1 new release in its category, and the other book was the #1 book, best-selling book in the entire field of theater. Yes, for several weeks. That book is actually connected to the Black Acting Method Studio, and that's why I'm here today. Black Acting Method Studio was founded in the fall of 2017. And though we are a relatively new company, we have experienced heightened success in the areas of actor training and theater educator training. We are easily recognized as one of the top entities that specialize in diversity, inclusivity, and anti-racist training in the performing arts. And now, we are rolling out our 3rd product, headed into the corporate market to help businesses thrive. Yes, an acting studio for everybody that provides diversity and inclusion training that cultivates employee buy-in and participation in the solution. Can you imagine the workload that HR managers have right now in regards to racial diversity initiatives? They have become a top priority for corporate companies. As an HR manager, she has a lot on her plate, from cultivating a positive corporate culture to employee compliance, managing conflict resolution, and recruitment and retention of diverse individuals. But her current resources are ineffective, outdated, and don't encourage participation. And if her employees don't know how to participate in the solution, her company can't compete. Diversity is important to employers and employees, so much so that it's being calculated as one of the company's success factors. Just recently, in support of diversity, North Face challenged Facebook and withheld advertising until they dealt with their hate speech, while BlackRock, one of the world's largest investment firms handling nearly $8 trillion, made a commitment to fund diversity initiatives. So the human resources manager, she needs an expert with experience driving participation in what we call cross-cultural harmony. Enter the Black Acting Method Studio's newest product, Cross-Cultural Harmony Training. How great is it for corporations to have a diversity training program that features professional performers, plus offers interactive training workshops in several modalities? With these assets combined, we can get employees to participate in the solution. Now, our approach is research-driven, okay? Current data shows that current diversity training programs do not affect the behavior of men or white employees overall. Bias training actually causes more women to seek out senior mentorship versus mentoring their underrepresented or peer colleagues. Recent data also shows that the best diversity training programs will diversify their training approaches to include various delivery modes and multi-pronged programs. It also helps to focus on one marginalized group. This actually has a spillover effect, meaning that all of the lessons are applicable to many other communities. Data also suggests that corporations should experiment with diversity training and collect data for optimization. We in the Black Acting Method Studio, our program, Cross-Cultural Harmony Training, we have an express focus on the Black experience to help positive effects spill over, and we also talk about other experiences from other communities as well. We work on communication skills using hip-hop theater techniques such as spoken word and writing to help strengthen identities to combat racism. Our professional actors, they perform in online training videos and also do skits in front of the organizations and invite them in to role play. We also focus on improving race relations using mental health tools and techniques. Yes, we have an in-house licensed psychologist to help organizations thrive. So, what are our next critical steps? Well, as you see, we're going up, up, up. We are at the solution phase, which is participation in the UC's Venture Lab program. And now we really need to connect with human resources and admin constituencies to collect data to help fine-tune our program. Our team is ready to work in the corporate world. We are world-class experts in leadership and performing arts, inclusive of a licensed in-house psychologist and a pioneer in hip-hop theater training techniques. We also have a curriculum specialist, body language specialist, and lead scenario trainer. Our ask: in order to collect more data, we need a partner with access to HR managers and administrators so we can help corporate companies leverage their talents while strengthening the company culture of diversity, equity, inclusion, and eliminating racism. We want your company to have the after picture, where it has diversity and sustainability, which equals company success. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Tony Shimero, a professor at the University of Cincinnati, and I do research on cognitive science.
And I'm Mike Berger, a private practicing pathologist. Tony and I think that flow cytometry is the perfect setting in which we can use our combined expertise to reduce costs and bring greater access to the general public for this testing.
Our project is called AI Triage for flow cytometry. A flow cytometer is a device that uses lasers to quickly examine thousands of individual cells from a sample. It uses the data gathered from those cells to help pathologists diagnose cancers and other disorders. Flow cytometry represents a major advance in cancer diagnosis and pathology. Unfortunately, flow cytometry diagnosis is slow and expensive. From the time a patient and her primary care physician decide that she might have cancer, a sample is taken and prepared with reagents at a laboratory. Then it is sent to a flow cytometry laboratory where flow cytometry is done on the sample, and a technician produces a 28-page report that's sent on to a pathologist. The pathologist uses the report to diagnose the potential cancer and then reports back to the primary care physician. This process takes about 4 to 7 days, which is a very long time if you're concerned that you might have cancer. It's also quite expensive. It costs about $600. But what if we could use AI to make flow cytometry diagnosis cheaper and faster? We would do so by triaging the benign cases before they're seen by a pathologist. This is our project. We want to use artificial intelligence to speed flow cytometry diagnosis and reduce the costs. This will allow doctors to screen more patients and diagnose cancers earlier. Flow cytometry pathology is a large market, $3.1 billion in 2019, expected to go up to $5.1 billion by 2023. In phase 1 of our project, we'll use artificial intelligence to triage cases at the laboratory before they're seen by a pathologist. We suspect that 45% of the cases are routine and don't need to be seen by a pathologist. This will reduce the time down to 2 to 7 days and the cost for pathology by 45%. Since this is a $3.1 billion industry, this represents a $500 million savings. Our phase 1 algorithm is ready now for beta testing. In phase 2 of our project, we'll focus on the work done at the lab. We believe we can use artificial intelligence to cut out about 50% of the work done by the lab technician, reducing costs by half, and reducing the turnaround time in some cases to just 1 day. This will reduce the cost by another $100, leading to $1 billion savings. This requires access to data that we don't have right now. Who benefits from this? Well, first and foremost, patients benefit from it. They have lower cost access to cancer screening and they have faster diagnosis. Primary care physicians also benefit because they make fewer referrals and have more control over their patients' data. In fact, everyone in this industry benefits. Pathologists will spend less time on routine work, pathology practices and hospitals will have less costly flow diagnosis, and payers, such as insurance companies, Medicare, and Medicaid, will have lower costs. It'll also benefit device manufacturers who will have added value to devices and a larger market. Between us, Mike Berger and I have more than 40 years of relevant expertise to do this project, but we will need help. Right now, Phase 1 algorithm is complete and ready for beta testing. In order to do the beta testing, we're going to need help with the user interface design. We have a plan in place for beta testing and believe it can be done by January, at which point we'll be ready to seek a patent for our Phase 1 algorithm. We also want to get the data to do the Phase 2 algorithm. We'll need help from experts in patents. A year on, in January 22, we think the Phase 2 algorithm will be complete, and we'll seek a patent for that. We'll also be ready to market the Phase 1 algorithm. So at that point, we'll need additional help from people with expertise in marketing and licensing. Finally, in January 2023, we'll be ready to market the patented Phase 2 algorithm. We'll need continued help from those with expertise in marketing and licensing. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'm Tony Chimero. Here are my email addresses and my cell phone number. Thank you for your time.
My name is Tim Liu, and I'm a founder and lead designer of Untitled Furniture. And here is my presentation.
Hello, welcome to Untitled Furniture, where innovation of traditional techniques meets modern manufacturing. We are looking at the North American household furniture market, which is valued at $47 billion as of 2019, and the combined annual growth rate of the household furniture and kitchen cabinetry market is 5.4 for the past 5 years. And currently, the furniture industry is greatly influenced by the housing market, and according to our research, indoor wood furniture would greatly benefit from sustainable practices as well as offering customizable options. Your first home. You're looking at furnitures that are available, that are comfortable, that are durable, that are reliable, and looks good. However, the IKEA paradox. They're frequently available, sometimes comfortable, not always durable or reliable, and has the same old boxy aesthetics as most of their furnitures. Additionally, they're not so easy to assemble, generally requiring dozens of different hardwares and poor quality materials. It's usually a bad experience. The InnoTrack difference. Quality furniture made simple. Assembly requires no complex hardware and just slips and slides and locks together. Whether it's for your first apartment or family home, InnoTrad Furniture checks all the boxes. Our plan is to go direct to consumer through online retailers for the InnoTrad Basics line, and customizable options would be offered through the InnoTrad Furniture line on our own website. Currently, we are validating our concepts in terms of assembly as well as aesthetics. We would proceed on with patents and trademarks, as well as creating our final one-to-one prototypes and refining our designs, researching production strategies, and preparing for launch. Currently, the team consists of me, Tim Liu, the founder and lead designer of InnoTrad Furniture. What we need is assistance in the patenting process, advice on production strategies, mainly concerning mid-scale computer numeric control production, as well as aid in refining the business model. In short, InnoTrad Furniture creates quality, ready-to-assemble furniture using traditional techniques. We are currently validating our products, and we need assistance with patents, manufacturing, and business plans. Thank you, the InnoTrad Furniture team.
Hi, I'm Beth Piokas. The past 2 years, my family and I went through 2 cell phones, 2 laptops, and 3 55-inch TV. I don't know about you, but I think this is alarming. As a naturally curious person and a problem solver, I realized this is actually an opportunity to solve a potential impending problem of solid waste. And Anne and I are here to tell you about that.
Hi, my name is Anne Breck. I'm a lifelong learner who has made a career of solving complex problems that impact systems, people, processes, and profit. Well, my friend Beth told me about her proposal to create an urban mine from e-waste and that the US government had funding for this. I was excited by the possibilities that could bring the future to now. I wanted in.
Rare earth and specialty elements are everywhere. In fact, they make up billions of dollars of the US GDP. They have unique characteristics, and so they become vital in the manufacture of many modern technologies, particularly for defense and communication systems. They make us safer. The US government rely on them, especially in military applications. The issue, though, is 100% of these materials are supplied from abroad, and 96% of them are supplied by China. This situation puts us in a very difficult position and in fact make us less safe. A promising source is closer than we think, and I alluded to this earlier: consumer electronics, which we produce globally in millions of metric tons. They are rich in rhesus. In fact, for a Toyota Prius, up to 9 kilograms can be recovered. So we believe that in fact we can end our dependence on foreign sources by recovering them from these wastes. the US government has started funding mines again in the United States for local sources of these materials. Processors, which we belong to, can get as much as $25 million per effort for supplying the US with these materials. Earlier, the Department of Energy has granted small business grants to companies like this, and in particular N-Cycle, who we can collaborate to become a part of the circular economy in the electronics industry, where our waste become the raw materials for the next batch of products. Our process is proprietary using mechanochemistry, and we can combine them with ionic liquids and supercritical fluid extraction. We are excited to report that we may be able to produce pure rhesus and metal oxides. And the idea is to sell these to manufacturers like GE or B suppliers to the Department of Defense.
Carrying out these processes can be sequenced to provide a green way to recover and purify rhesus is a game changer. In year one, we need to secure the FOA because there is still a lot of research needed to figure out what the solution will physically encompass. Is it smaller than Oprah's bathroom or bigger than the Great American Ballpark? The size of the solution impacts the business model. The tech resources need to spend time in research to figure this out, and that time costs money. We need a substantial grant. How do we take what we know now and make the request? Once we get the funding, we can spend 6 to 12 months developing a scalable prototype to look for physical needs for solutions. A stumbling block for many recycling solutions is how to pay a living wage and handle physically the e-waste. This is something that not many places have figured out yet, and we need. Let's talk about this grant. We need to take the lab theory we have to build a business case. We know there are millions of tons of e-waste generated annually in the US. We see so many approaches to tackle this, we get caught up in the big idea, and we need advice about what to prioritize. We need some expertise to add to our team. You know Beth and me. Giannis is the lawyer and the voice of reality. Beth and I are all P&G alums. Professor James Mack currently teaches here at UC. What we're looking for is a resource to help round us out. There are many reasons to believe that the green recovery of rhesus is an idea that will carry long into the 21st century. We need some help getting the Department of Defense's pot of gold with our compelling request.
Hi, I'm Kevin Claiborne with New Dawn Labs. I'm a true software engineering geek. My license says www.geek. Hi, I'm Kevin Claiborne, and I'm from both the University of Dayton Research Institute, UDRI, and New Dawn Labs, NDL. NDL was the very first UDRI spinoff, and we were formed to commercialize the Riot product that was developed at UDRI. I just happen to be the guy to have led the team. Although today I'll be wearing my NDL hat. What is IoT? It is the Internet of Things. They are devices and systems that can be connected to a network. Many times the network is the Internet. But why do we want IoT? Because analog devices require human interactions to read or change. Like if you want to change your furnace from AC to heat, you have to physically flip that little switch at the top. Have you ever forgotten to turn on your heat on a cold night? Industry. The costs for mistakes are so much higher. This does not include the simple daily human resource costs to collect data, which is error prone. Riot is simply an open plug-and-play framework that helps you connect things smartly. So what is smart? Smart goes further than just getting your devices and systems connected. Smart ensures that your systems will be stable, scalable, and most importantly, secure. Many solutions can connect your devices if, and that's a big if, you simply buy their complete IoT solutions. But now you have vendor lock. How do you add or change new technologies? What do you do with all your old legacy assets? Riot is different, for it is an open plug-and-play framework with a collection of plugins, with the framework and its collection of plugins do all the hard stuff, like connecting various technologies together. If something changes, you can simply pull out the old plugin and replace it with a new technology plugin, just like Lego blocks. And remember, the framework keeps the whole system stable, scalable, and secure. New Dawn Labs' focus is connecting technology. We do not build IoT devices. Here's a real-life example. Riot collected real-time building data from multiple buildings, multiple vendors and technology systems for various floors. Riot enabled the facility team to focus on the various data that they wanted and use Riot's building blocks, the plugins, to do all the hard work. So where did Riot come from? Back in 2010, the U.S. Army's Unintended Ground Sensors Division had the same problems as IoT industry has today: vendor lock. We at UDRI submitted the concept from 1995 called Plug and Play. You might have heard of it. Ultimately, we created the open standard for unintended sensors, which is called OSIS. In 2018, the DoD reclassified OSIS for public use. We took lessons learned and created Riot, and in January 2020, New Dawn Labs was spun off from UDRI. We are experts in creating IoT solutions that are delivered on time and on budget. We also have a special relationship with UDRI and can bring in expert staffing as needed for large-scale projects. It is no surprise that the IoT market will continue to grow and at double digits. So what is our ask? We need more clients. Those clients might be an IoT device manufacturer that wants an open middleware that is plug and play so they can connect to other IoT devices and frameworks without having to worry about the middleware. Could be IoT systems integrators that want an open solutions. Maybe it's manufacturers, building owners, government agencies that need to connect their IoT devices and systems. Lastly, it might be an IoT system that just needs to be validated to make sure that it's secure, stable, and scalable. So if all this stuff was gobbledygoosh, here are the two important things to remember. Riot is an open plug-and-play framework which allows you to concentrate on what you do best, for the framework does all the hard stuff. And being that it is plug-and-play framework, it is easy to make changes as technology or your needs change. Lastly, NDL can handle your large projects where we can always reach into UDRI for additional staff. Thank you.
Do you have any chest pains? Hi. Have you ever needed a nurse to come to your home that's from your community to do an assessment? Well, my name is Samantha Bach, and I'm a registered nurse, and I'm here to present my family nurse. Thank you for joining in to hear more about my family nurse. Here's a picture of my grandma and me. Since I'm the only nurse in my family, I was able to help case manage and advocate to ensure that my grandmother had the best care during the last 2 decades of her life. And I would often wonder, how are families doing this without a nurse? Almost 53 million family members in the US have taken on the role as the caregiver, in addition to their own work and family responsibilities. We have a broken system because we have a patient who has little access to personalized care, a secondary caregiver who has limited time and resources, and we have the nurse who encounters red tape to advocacy in her community. But with a connection and an online platform, we can bring these roles together. Which is why I'm bringing you My Family Nurse, a nursing concierge marketplace where families can connect to nurses in their neighborhood. Pre-COVID, the estimated number of people in need of care in the United States was expected to reach 117 million. But due to our global pandemic, now we are a world requiring more care and timely healthcare access. The estimated revenue opportunity was $70 billion just for the caregiving market, and nearly 80% of that was estimated as being out-of-pocket spending. National agencies started a call to action for innovators to advance caregiving solutions. And the AARP expects that 50% of these caregiving market revenues are to be enabled by digital solutions. But they can't do it without nurses. My Family Nurse will connect nurses to families through an online marketplace. This platform would allow nurses to create their own profile of experiences that caregivers or patients can connect to. The nurse profiles will list their specialties, their hourly rates, and even public reviews regarding their care. Our nurses are here to advocate for your loved ones when care is questionable. They can reinforce education and navigate your loved one through transitions of care. In turn, our caregivers feel more supported and more prepared, and our care recipients are better connected with their families, which ultimately is a better quality of life. So why My Family Nurse over visiting angels or impersonal sites such as care.com? Well, for starters, nurses are the #1 trusted healthcare professional, and we make up the largest segment of the healthcare workforce. We have over 70 subspecialties to adapt to family needs, but our most distinguishing characteristic is that the family has choice of the nurse who has knowledge about the healthcare system in your region. We actually pitched this idea to a startup competition in 2017, and in the course of 2 days, we collected 90 responses from nurses. We surveyed their favorite parts about nursing, which was patient advocacy, education, and empowering patients through direct care, something My Family Nurse would be providing. They disliked the administrative bureaucracy and long hours working in a clinical setting. In addition, My Family Nurse is backed by nearly 4 decades of research using randomized controlled trials that document the benefits of a nurse linked to a family through the Nurse-Family Partnership Study. Our vision is that everyone deserves access to a nurse. So if a college student needs a pregnancy test, they could contact a nurse. If a child has a mental health concern, a mother can contact a psychiatric nurse. We believe that everyone should be able to contact a nurse in their community without the hassle of leaving their home. My Family Nurse would use the Uber Lyft business model in addition to a yearly fee, so we would collect a portion of the profits made by the nurses. Our path to commercialization includes targeting individuals caring for loved ones who are 65 and older with chronic conditions. We have a plan to advance market validation and product proofing with preliminary funding, and we hope to target key markets and then eventually scale. Tisha and I have the background in nursing, but we need the expertise in market strategy and business or nonprofit development, including a web developer. With your help, your loved one can have better care and an opportunity to make it to their 90th birthday, play lots of bingo, and enjoy that margarita. Thank you.
My name is Jacob Haskamp. I'm the founder of One Up Technologies, and I'm excited to tell you guys how I'm going to change wearables forever. But before I do that, let me tell you a quick story. These are my grandparents, and my grandma used to really enjoy walking around the parks and gardening. However, because she's extremely heat sensitive, she can no longer do that in her old age.
And she's not the only one. You know, all human beings are affected by the heat at some point in their lives, like elderly and children, athletes, commuters that walk day to day, people that work outside. Everyone runs into this problem of heat.
So what are the current solutions to the problem? Well, you can wear athletic clothing, you can wear an ice vest, there's gimmick products like wearable fans and misters, or you can even just soak yourself in water. But there's really no true one solution to the problem, only temporary fixes. Okay, so I was really sick of all of these solutions that weren't really doing the job. So I developed a game-changing wearable cooling device, the first of its kind. This works in conjunction with a graphene or carbon nanotube-based fabric, and the device itself gets colder than an ice pack. Essentially, the device goes into a pouch, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen there, and it spreads the cooling effect around the article of clothing. Now, this was the first initial prototype with the pouch, and so I want to introduce you to the next version of this, which I call the Cool Box. The Cool Box is compact and lightweight. It's roughly the size of a deck of cards. As you can see on the left, there's a rendering of it. It's robust and weatherproof. There's no fan, there's no openings, it's dustproof and waterproof. And it's also impact resistant, made of polyurethane. It's actually very efficient. It can run up to an hour and a half on a single battery or 6 hours using replaceable batteries. And it uses a new thermal management design, which actually pumps heat into itself, not the environment. And as stated, it can cool by 20 to 50 degrees. Our targeted price for the consumers is $199, but it costs me much, much less to make this. Okay, so what does the future of One Up Technologies look like? It is my main goal to bring the Cool Box to market as late as March of 2021. We want to launch online at first and then work our way into retail. Preferably, we partner with large companies that give us the ability to have an all-inclusive clothing line. This would include men and women's athletic, casual, and business attires, down to things like sports bras and maternity clothes. So who is the current team that is helping me with this? Currently, I'm the main player. I have very limited business experience, but some nonetheless, having done $10,000 in online sales. I dropped out of school. I was in college at WKU. I dropped out of there to work full-time on this. Currently, I work full-time in the IT industry, and my second job is One Up Technologies. I spent over 2 years and countless sleepless nights working on this to get to 63 iterations of the Cool Box. My business mentor and really inspiration to keep me going is Jeremy Jacobs. He's the chairman and CEO of Enlighten, the founder and CEO of Iconic.tv, and member of YEC. I'm also in talks with Mark Schultz and Ashley Kubley, both professors at University of Cincinnati. Mark Schultz is renowned for his carbon nanotube technology and is looking at the possibility of using that in conjunction with the Coolbox. And Ashley Kubley is renowned for her clothing design expertise and is helping me design the clothing and look at some of the manufacturing potentials of this. With that said, if there's any EIRs, engineers, marketing and design professionals, or if you have connections to online and retail stores, here's my personal contact information. Feel free to reach out to me and do anytime. I'll work with your schedule. Thanks, everybody.
Hello, my name is Robert Lee. I'm the CEO of Subterra AI, and we're helping local governments streamline their inspection and management workflows. And we're doing it with using things like this, our Sewer Scout, which is an untethered floating drone. And we're making it more safer, efficient and cost effective to inspect sewer networks across the United States. So I hope you enjoy our presentation and check out Subterra AI. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Robert Lee. I'm the CEO of Subterra AI, and we map everything underground. Now, before I jump into the company, I want to tell you a little bit about the founder, which so happens to be me. And I grew up with a passion for photography, and I was inspired by Google Street View to map the world. It motivated me to go to university and graduate with a degree in geoscience. I've been working in and around underground environments for the past 13 years, and I started out in underground coal mines and then dove into sewers quite literally. I've walked many miles in waist-deep raw sewage, and while doing so, I started to think there has to be a better way to do this. So I started building a solution for the wastewater industry. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit of the day in the life of a collection systems engineer. And they get to work and they're given a problem, a failure downtown of their sewer network. And this is due to only 9% of the current infrastructure being inspected each year across the US. The American Society of Civil Engineers rates the network a D+, which is close to failing. And to make matters worse, there's not enough money to maintain, repair or replace the existing network, which results in more failures like this to our right, making millions of Americans sick each year. It's not when, but where will the next failure be? So who is Subterra? Well, we're streamlining how local governments inspect and manage their sewer infrastructure. And we do this in a cost-effective, efficient and safer way. And it includes our untethered floating platform called the Sewer Scout, coupled with our online cloud-based platform called Teralytics. We've made massive progress being a bootstrap company, and last year we tested and deployed our prototype system several times. This year, we actually transitioned from Australia to the US, where we've secured 2 large contracts, one worth over $350,000 over 3 years, and now we're working on our 3rd, and we're looking to raise a seed round later this year. In 2021, we're looking to secure 0.25% of the market, which is close to 36 municipalities. And it will see us transition our beta platform to our version 1 Teralytics, which will then give us a combined revenue of $4.8 million. So the market that we're trying to address, it's close to about 15,000 treatment works in the US, and they're maintaining over 1 million miles of sewers and spending over $50 billion on operations and maintenance each year. The opportunity that we're looking to seize is 5% of the marketplace and inspect close to 1% of the network, which will give us a combined revenue of $50 million recurring each year. To turn how to generate this into money, well, we've got a tried and tested methodology. And we go straight to the operations guys in these treatment works and offer them tech bundles, which is using our Sewer Scout coupled with our short-term license of the Teralytics. We can get them either on our starter package or straight into our network and then transition them onto an ongoing SaaS license. We have a very unique go-to-market strategy where we go straight to the operations guys and sell them our bundles. It's a sole source contract that allows us to sidestep the whole bidding process. From there, we get them to upload their own third-party data to our platform, and then we offer remote services to inspect and QC their own videos. We're going to scale by implementing a marketplace to provide faster turnarounds and also to train our own AI algorithms to build consistency and efficiencies in the whole workflow. We're seeing old and new get into the AI space in this industry, and we're seeing many companies being funded, and we're quite unique, being bootstrapped with our own unique inspection systems and our own proprietary processing. We're working to build our automatic coding and marketplace right now. So what we're looking for is introductions. We want to find industry experts that can help us move this product and our business along. We're looking for talented software engineers to join the team, and also would love to talk to interested investors to help us scale our business. So I hope you come on the journey with us deep underground. That's Subterra. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Isaiah Christopher, and I am a second-year information technology major at UC Claremont. I helped create the portable classroom because I identified a disconnect that exists between teachers and students in online classes. Working together with students, educators, and college administrators, I plan to develop a product that will increase the potential of online learning. Hi, and welcome to the Portable Classroom, a tool which will revolutionize online learning. Our team is comprised of myself and Bill Nicholson, a UC Claremont professor and longtime software developer. Online collaboration tools are essential for teachers, students, and educational institutions as a whole. Today, a quality education hinges on a great experience in an online class. A subpar online classroom experience can lead to teacher dissatisfaction and result in low grades for students, outcomes which may negatively affect the ratings of colleges. In talking with educators through a customer discovery process, we have found that they cannot deliver the same quality education as they can in face-to-face environments. In addition, they struggle to assess student engagement. These problems ultimately contribute to a disconnect between a student and their instructors. Zoom, Microsoft Teams, WebEx, and other video collaboration tools cannot provide the metrics to gauge student attendance, engagement, and performance in real time. Our product can make these tools better by adding that missing component that so many educators, students, and colleges need. Introducing the Portable Classroom, a tool aimed at addressing the disconnect felt in online learning. measuring student engagement, and providing valuable real-time data and feedback for educators and colleges. The portable classroom will improve synchronous learning by giving educators the tools they need to assess student engagement and participation in an online class. Serving as an add-on to existing video collaboration software, the portable classroom will foster active learning among students and equip educators with features like comprehensive dashboards that allow them to push out curricula such as quiz questions to students in real time. Finally, after a class is over, our tool will generate a comprehensive report for the instructor which provides valuable data about student engagement. When using our tool, educators will feel more confident in teaching online and providing a quality education for their students. On the student side, students will be more engaged and their grades will benefit from being actively involved in their classes. Finally, the metrics our tool generates will feed up to university administrators and provide them valuable data and success stories about online learning. We hope to partner with colleges, universities, and tutoring centers to help them integrate the portable classroom into the tools they use for synchronous online education. Colleges have been adopting the online education model at a rapid rate, even before COVID-19. 2018 saw 7 million college students take online classes, and that number has undoubtedly increased today. Going forward, we would like to find partners to help us connect with people who know the education tech market. We'd also like to continue our discussions with educators, students, and college administrators to help develop a prototype which meets their needs. And finally, to bring the portable classroom to fruition, we will need developers to join our team, and we will need to perform extensive market and competition research. We understand the challenges students and teachers face in online learning, and we at the Portable Classroom hope to bridge the disconnect they feel too often. Together, we can make a big difference in the lives of teachers and also in the competitive advantage of colleges across the country. Thank you for your time and consideration of our concept, and we look forward to talking further. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Bryson Burlong. I'm the founder of Iot, and I am a soon-to-be graduate from Wright State University. I have a dual degree in entrepreneurship and investment finance. I have over a year's worth of experience in portfolio management, and as well as 2+ years experience in the financial services industry. My findings have come from observation and as well as experiences. So I look forward to walking you through what Iot is and how we plan to help future generations in the financial services and investment management industry.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Iot. Iot is a fintech company helping individuals visualize their finances, restructure their debt, and build for the future. Our target audience are millennials and Generation Z, for this is the audience that is accruing the most debt currently. For the typical American and college student, debt is an abstract concept, many of whom are struggling to manage their finances and debt alone. And we intend to help this audience with visualizing their finances, restructuring their debt, and building for the future. So our story begins here and grows from here. Darik will help young people visualize their unique debt profile. We will partner with banks to create personalized strategies to restructure their debt. And while they are saving, we will be unlocking more opportunities for them in their future, while at the same time building a brand and unlocking opportunities for ourselves for our future. So why aren't more debtors restructuring their obligations? We believe debtors aren't receiving the right solution for their situation. Not every situation is made equal. Clients need visualization and personalization. With that visualization comes better information, and with that personalization comes tools to help our clientele make better informed decisions. Darik will partner with banks and credit unions who will deliver the products that we offer to our clientele, and we will partner with universities to get market share with our target audience early, and as well as helping them within their financial journey at an early state. So, unlike the college freshman whose typical financial portfolio begins with one bank account, student loans, and maybe a credit card, Jim Halper, he is in our what we like to call expansion phase. So Jim has now two checking accounts, some short-term obligations and credit cards, and as well as long-term obligations with mortgage. As you can see, we help Jim see his net worth. We also help Jim with keeping track of his financial goals, credit scores, rates, and then we provide recommendations alongside. Our competition is Credit Karma and LendingTree. LendingTree provides loans on a marketplace. However, not all situations are made equal. And Credit Karma provides credit scores, but they are not accurate. A lot of our clientele need real-time information, and they need information they can rely on. And we at Darik intend to provide that information with personalized solutions in order to provoke sound decision-making. As mentioned, we will help our audience from the freshman year of college. If we can get this market early, we will help them as they transition into the growth phase from graduating college into maintaining a solid income. And then from the expansionary phase, like my friend Jim Halper here. And as they begin to pay down more debt and we help them restructure and save money and put that money towards that debt, they will have more disposable income. And with that income comes assets. And we will help them in managing those assets. So our story evolves as our customer grows. We need you, tech talent, banks, to help us in preparing for our alpha test that we plan to launch in the second to third quarter of next year. We are planning to provide a high-tech product, so we need strong talent in delivering this. For myself, I'm a financier. I have strong finance capabilities. However, I need a tech talent to help me deliver this product in a strong manner. Darik will help our target audience from the development to the growth and to the expansionary phase. We have an opportunity to get our market earlier from college and to help them to retirement. So who are we? We are Darik. We're a debt optimization and restructuring company that will deploy digital banking services for the simplification of wealth maximization. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Samir Wagal from Uplift.
And I'm Achla Bagal from Uplift, and we are very excited to share our ideas with you.
This project is very near and dear to our hearts.
In fact, it's something that we truly believe in, and this venture, this business is more than that. It's a calling, because we are really excited to be part of the force for good.
We hope you can join us in the journey.
Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you everyone for joining our presentation. I'm delighted to present our venture and mission, Uplift. In 2020, doing good is good business. Patagonia, which is a socially conscious company, delivered a 25% growth in 1 year. Unilever, which has 29 sustainable brands, delivered 75% of the total company's growth. Nike, which created a shoe which resulted in zero waste, had a $1 billion sales. Most companies now have environmental, social, and governance strategies. They want to create profitable solutions for sustainability and resiliency, but they are ignoring a key source of innovative ideas: suppliers and supply chain partners. Good ideas for doing good can come from anywhere. Your IT service provider, or your logistics provider, or your warehouse manager. But the status quo creates barriers for suppliers to add and share ESG value. And the IT service provider just continues to manage the CRM. And the logistics provider just continues to keep the supply chain running. And the warehouse manager just manages the inventory. Now imagine if the stakeholders, the corporate senior executive, the investor, the supplier, and the corporate manager came together to create shared value and a win-win for all the stakeholders. Companies usually don't think of their suppliers as potential innovators in sustainability. But if they did, they could unlock new sources of revenue and value for all the stakeholders. Introducing Uplift, the shared value creation platform. It streamlines identification of shared value opportunities, enables collaborations for sustainability solutions, and analyzes and measures the socio-economic impact. We are on a quest to change the status quo. The Uplift platform. It's a cloud-based digital platform for stakeholders to jointly create shared value. It has 3 key functionalities: opportunity analysis, collaboration, metrics, and reporting. The market opportunity is huge. Out of the S&P 500 companies, only 72 companies are not reporting ESG data. And the companies that are already on the path of being conscious companies are doing extremely well, as seen from the chart on the right. Here are our development timelines. We are currently building the prototype and we should have it completed in the next 2 weeks. Thereafter, we'll begin building the MVP and engaging with early adopters. We plan to complete this by mid of March and launch the MVP. Our team. Now, our passion and mission is to enable Uplift to bring out the fullest innovation potential of suppliers to solve sustainability and social issues in a profitable way. The values we embody are humanism, connectedness, and transformation. I am Samir Wagal, and I have extensive experience in manufacturing industries and digital transformation solutions. Achla Wagal, she is a physician at UC and brings in her leadership and design thinking expertise. Prashant Halari, who is the CEO of Synovage Technologies, which he co-founded and continues to lead for the last 10 years. And importantly, we are looking for our future partners who have expertise in supply chain, machine learning, and corporate finance. We have two asks. One, domain expertise in supply chain. Second, market access, connection to potential customers in CPG, retail, and manufacturing industries. With your help, we can uplift our communities and businesses and create a virtuous circle of shared value creation. Thank you. Would love to connect with you and discuss more. My contact information is on the screen.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Burnham, the creator of Wearable. I'm a computer engineer and a sled hockey coach for the Cincinnati Icebreakers. When one of my players and his father asked me if I could come up with a modern-day solution to an age-old problem, I was excited by the possibilities. This is Ben. His story inspired me to develop Wearable. I'm really proud of the work that I've put into this project so far, and I hope you enjoy the presentation. Meet Ben. Ben is 18 years old, he's in high school, and he's an athlete trying to reach the top of his game. Ben is on the U.S. men's sled hockey development team, and he's a contender for Team USA in the Paralympics. Unfortunately, his active lifestyle has been limited by pressure ulcers, forcing him to miss school and sled hockey development camp. He's already been hospitalized 5 times because of pressure ulcers, with a long road to recovery. Ben's doctor uses her equipment to generate a pressure map. Once he leaves the doctor's office, outside of that controlled environment, his pressure map becomes an unknown, and the cycle of tissue breakdown continues. Pressure injury is a painful, costly problem. Pressure ulcers are responsible for over 17,000 lawsuits per year, can cost over $150,000 to fix each one, and cause about 60,000 patients to die every year. The current solution? Doctors advise those at risk to perform pressure releases, where they reposition themselves in their chair every 10 to 15 minutes. No matter how young, old, or busy you are, how and when you perform your pressure releases makes all the difference to your health and safety. That's why we created Wearable, a smart wheelchair cushion cover that creates a real-time pressure and temperature map, which can help doctors lower the rate of pressure ulcers developing among their patients. We want to bring this product into a space that's strong and growing. The market for wheelchair accessories takes up almost half of the overall wheelchair manufacturing market, a $600 million plus industry where revenue is expected to increase during the next 4 years. This wheelchair accessory uses a network of sensors that communicates information about the user's seating in real time to their smartphone and can be placed over the cushion recommended by their doctor. Wearable stands out from the competition as the only product to feature temperature sensing. Heat buildup is one of the main factors in skin breakdown. Wearable is also the only product to combine all features into a cover that can be used with any cushion. Notifications from the app alert the user when too much heat or pressure is built up, acting as a replacement for a lack in lower body sensation. A real-time map lets users know exactly how the distribution is at all times, and suggests the optimal way to reposition. A doctor and user can have a conversation to determine the frequency of alerts, which can be customized in the app. Currently, doctors can only view their patients' pressure mapping during office visits. Wearable, however, generates all-day data. All of the user's healthcare providers can be given access to a wealth of information about what their body goes through when they're away from the doctor's office. Work on Wearable has been underway since 2017, when development began on a prototype cushion cover that was presented as a senior design project and won first place. Startup UC was our next step, and we won 3 awards in the graduate student category at IQ ePitch 2019. Our next phase will be creating a minimum viable product which we can test in a medical facility involved in rehabbing pressure injury. The team executing these next steps is comprised of 2 2018 UC alums. I have experience with software and electronics, and Allison Menares is our industrial designer. We're in need of another partner to join the team who specializes in ensuring all our legal requirements and product standards are met with the FDA, ISO, RESNA, and potentially other governing boards, including meeting HIPAA requirements. Our immediate goal is to complete another design iteration and make the minimum viable product. We're looking to identify a development team for our mobile app, which requires a smooth user experience with easy navigation and access to a highly secure database. We're also in search of a manufacturer for durable, waterproof textiles and a printed circuit board layout suitable for mass production. In summary, WiredWell gives people the freedom to live active lives without the fear of pressure injury. Ben can take WiredWell from his wheelchair, to his car, to his sled, and he has one less thing to worry about. Thanks for your time today. If you'd like to get in touch, please contact wiredwelltech@gmail.com.
That was it, right? I know when we said this is a huge cohort, there's a lot going on, a lot to learn, a lot to see. I think some people may have been a little trepidatious about the commitment of time, but I thank you for sticking around to the end. I thank you for spending time with our teams today. I do encourage you to reach out to the teams through their contact information. And if for some reason you didn't catch their contact info, you didn't write it down, whatever it might be, you can always reach out to myself or Elizabeth. We'd be happy to help point you in the right direction. So graduation day is over, which also makes way for the next cohort. So the next cohort is applications are open today. You are welcome to apply. We would love to hear you pitch your idea and why you deserve to be a part of the next program. We will be taking another 20 teams into this next round. And so I encourage you again to apply, share your idea with us, and let's have a conversation around what you're trying to learn and how we might be able to help you. All right? So thank you again for your time today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Hi, good morning. Happy to have you here today with us live on our stream, talking about our cohort's graduation day. Before we do all of that, a personal note from me and